Hi everybody, this is Wally at Darkroom Software. I wanted to take just a few minutes to do a little short video to clarify a portion of the process of doing a virtual party. I did a video a couple of weeks ago about doing a virtual party with Core. It's been quite popular. A lot of people are doing them, and it's a very simple process, but one portion of that video talked about making the template. And there was a couple of things that people didn't quite understand or something because a number of people have been making the same mistake. So I wanted to spend just a few minutes on clarifying how the template is made. It's a very simple, not complicated at all. In many cases, most of the people that had problems were overthinking it and doing things that they didn't need to do. So let me focus on just that. So I'm going to switch over to the software now. Okay, here we are in the software. This is Darkroom Core, and it is in the template editor. This is actually professional, but it works the same in Core or Pro. But in the template editor, you'll see here's my template. Over on the right-hand side, top corner, you'll see the border items. Those are the items that are included in the template. Think layers in Photoshop if you want to. And then on the left-hand side are the various buttons. This is slightly different than Darkroom Booth, although it has the same type of function, just the buttons are arranged in different places. So this is what the template looks like, and this is my photo node. I'm moving it around right now, and you'll see that it's square and has a white outline around it. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. I'm just going to move it over here out of the way so it's not blocking anything. This is the background. This is a graphic that was done for the Texas School for the Professional Photographers Association of Texas last week, and we did a virtual party for them, and that was quite successful. Everybody loved it. So what this template is, first of all, I chose a 4x5 vertical. Now I'm going to click on Border Properties and bring up the template Border Properties so you can see that. And you'll see here that it is a 4x5 on the page size and set to vertical. Now you can use a variety of sizes. It really doesn't matter. That's up to you. It's more of a personal preference. I like the 4x5 vertical simply because it fits well on a phone screen. So since a lot of this is going to be done through texting and people are sending photos in and out and so on, I liked the 4x5 vertical. You can do whatever you like, but that's the size I chose here. So if you look, this is my 4x5 vertical, and it's just a blank white square. And if you wanted to just do that without any sort of special graphics, you could go back to the border properties, choose the page size, and let's just choose a color. And you can make it any color you want so that when you put the photo in, and let me move the photo node back in place. So when you move the photo back in place, then the yellow would show underneath. So I'm going to go back out of that and just go back to the white background so that that looked like it was before. Okay. So our graphic, if you look here, let me bring the graphic back into place. Center. Okay, so here's our graphic. Now you can see this is just a single graphic. It fills the page 4x5, and at the top it just kind of gradiates off to the top. So this entire graphic was created in Photoshop. Now you'll see that the background area has no holes, no openings for photos to show through, nothing else. It's just solid, in this case with a gradient, but it's just a complete full background. So now let's add our photo node in there. So when you add the photo node, and let me bring it back in place, there we go. So there's my photo node. Now, this photo node, it needs to be, for this to work correctly, it needs to be square. So if I go to the position and size, you can see here the actual size is not relevant. What is relevant is that it's square, okay? So the photo node needs to be squared. So the width and the height are the same thing, regardless of whatever you ultimately decide for your template. They need to be the same. So it's a square photo node. Now, if I double click on that and pull up the properties list, you'll see down here that I've got it set to draw a frame around it. That's not required. I like to have a frame around it to define it, just so I put a frame around it. I've got this particular one set to white with 2 points for the size. You could make it any size you like. That's up to you. the frame size will change and adjust to the photo sent in. So if they send a square photo, a rectangle horizontal photo, or a rectangle vertical photo, the frame size will change to match the photo. Now, to get that to work, underneath scaling of inserted images, we want it to fit, not fill. Fill is the default. If you use fill and someone sent a non-square image, it would crop the image and fill that whole square, and that's not what you want. You want it to fit within that area and change shapes depending on the size or the rectangle of the picture. So choose fit. Those are the two critical points. The photo node needs to be square and it needs to be set to fit. Nothing else will work, so that's what you need to have it done. Square and fit. And then you can also draw a frame around it if you want to. Now, once that's all set up and you do that, then the end result is this photo node will change. It will, change in shape and size to match the photo that's sent in. Because with virtual party, the photos are coming from all sorts of people. You don't know if they're going to be vertical, if they're going to be square, if they're going to be rectangle, horizontal. It's all, kind of up in the air. So those are the two critical points. You don't want to have the photo node behind the graphic, seen through a hole in the graphic. You want to have it on top of. If you look over here, the photo node should be down at the very bottom of the list. That means it's on the top of the hierarchy and would be on top here. So you can see that's on top. And have a plain background behind. So now I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to start over and show you, let's do this one right here. This is one I did for the demo last week. So you can see it's a solid black background. Now in this particular case, under border properties, I've just set the page color to black. You can set it to any color you want. Let me just choose a nice blue. And okay, and so now you can see there's how that all worked. So I've got just the photo node, again, square photo node, set to fit. And then I've just used the area down here to put whatever logo or text or anything that I wanted for my template. But you'll see that the background is solid in this case and the photo is on top of it. So when this changes shape, and I'm just going to manually drag it to kind of give you that indicator, when this changes shape to match the photo, you'll see that the area behind it stays consistent and it's not seen through a hole or anything like that. I hope that makes sense and is clear to everybody. If you have a problem or anything, just give us a call. We're happy to help. Everybody stay safe.